Hi, my name is Bernadette. Welcome to my channel, and today I want to talk to you about the recipe for Bliss, Aster, for the salvation, the liberation we are all looking for, we are all striving for. We are all are craving this lightness in our mind and in our life, and there is only one single thing you have to do, and this is to stop to hold grudges against life itself. There are a million things that happened to you, that were injustice happened to you, things you haven't done, where you haven't done anything wrong, and you were paying the consequences for the wrongdoing of another person maybe, or you suffer simply the hardships and the consequences of abuse, of someone who abused power. And all of this is horrid. Of course, I never wish any hardship or any injustice or any sort of victimhood to anybody. But at one point, you have to let it go. You have to let victimhood and the grudge you hold against life itself, against its randomness, go, because you haven't read the book until the end yet. You haven't watched all the episodes of the season yet. You're in the middle of your life. You don't know where it's going. And there are so many factors that play into a situation. Also, you have to be aware that a perpetrator, by abusing someone else, he is losing parts of his soul by doing this inhumane acts. And it is very, very, very difficult to reclaim these lost parts of the soul, to actually become whole again after you were the actual abuser. On the other hand, if you have suffered abuse, you have the great opportunity in your life to experience and to develop the ultimate forgiveness, to grow over this pain. And I could give you the most bizarre examples. For example, I had a childhood friend. She grew up in the most loving and caring home. And when she was 4, she boiled half of her body with some water that was boiling on her mother's stove, and that was an accident. And she just was disfigured. The half of her body was disfigured. The skin was disfigured from this incident when she was 4. And then when she was around 12, 11, she got with her hand into a harvester on her family's farm, and she lost 3 fingers of the part of her body that wasn't disformed already. So this girl, the most kind and beautiful girl you can imagine, growing up in the most loving and caring home, this happened to her. Inexplicable. Me, the other hand, I grew up in a household, nowadays you would call it straight up neglection. Yes, I fell off horses and trees countless times without, I cannot report any lasting injuries. Maybe mental or psychological, but I was not supervised at all, and I made stunts like a stuntman, and I fell off trees, and I did the craziest things. Or when I was a teenager, I hitchhiked, and then I had decades of partying where I was drunk and in the middle of the night walking alone through the street in Paris in a dangerous neighborhood where I was living that time, and I never got raped. Never got raped. I have so many examples of women I know personally, like cautious, responsible individuals, and they have been raped by long time friends, or when they locked the door in their apartment behind them and they considered themselves safe. The moment you take into consideration in your logical equation that life is random, and you with your human brain, you will never figure out the logic of it all. You will never ever figure out the logic of it all, because there is so much randomness. Like this guy, there's a Slovenian guy. He survived several plane crashes, and I think a lightning struck him. And there is this other guy who walks down the stairs of his childhood home where he had lived for 40 years, and on the last step he stumbles and drops dead in the second because he broke his neck. There is no logic. There is no logic. And the moment you take this into consideration, into your equation, you will be fine. You will be just fine. Whatever your circumstances are, there is Charlie Chaplin, there is Naomi Park. These are people, never ever there was anything in their cards that could predict that these people would turn out to be functional human beings, lo and behold, contributing to society in a really huge and major way. So what it all comes back to is your mindset, how creative you can be, how resilient you can be, how much you invest in your own interest, in your own passions, in your own abilities to overcome hardship, in your mind, in your heart, in your practical skills. This is the development that is asked of you. There is nothing, never ever, victimhood will get you anywhere, to blame the whole world how unethical it is. Did ever anybody change their mind when they were blamed by being wrong? I think we are all inspired by people who are just so resilient and human and graceful and powerful, because they are alchemists. They make gold out of dirt, and this is your job. If you are sad, if you're depressed, if you have no money, if you have been abused, if you have been raped, if you live in circumstances that are inhumane, you have to become more humane. You have to use all your mental and emotional resources, your creativity. Creativity is not just painting a picture or a painting or writing a song. Creativity is creating your life, creating a personality that is overcoming the first urge to revenge, the first urge to clap back. There are other ways. There are other ways that are so much more satisfying that no abuser can take away from you. No abuser can take away from you the capacity, the ability you have developed to be resourceful, to my revenge. My damn revenge is to have a damn fucking mood no matter what. I feel invincible if despite any outer circumstances, I feel life pulsing through me, and every next second an opportunity to feel good and to feel alive and to see the person in front of me or see the mirror in front of me and just live it and just enjoy it. And I have suffered cold, and I have slept in my car and abuse in any form you can imagine. I mean, I could go on with all the injustice that could happen to a person. I'm no Naomi Parks, but listen, it doesn't matter, because we all have different tolerance for pain. So for you it can be something random or something that wouldn't be even hurtful for someone else. It doesn't matter what it is. You have to stop to hold grudges against life. You have to zoom back. You have to be aware that there is a higher intelligence than yours. Look at me. Higher intelligence than yours. That things happen to you so you get rid of certain mindsets, so that you establish and develop other mindsets or other qualities or other abilities in your life, mental, emotional, practical abilities, forging your life, and not holding grudges against life, because it was here before you and it will be here after you, and we are just we have this little snippet of time here, and you want to hold a grudge? You want to know better? It is good to know what is right and what is wrong. And I'm not saying to ignore your hurting. You have to disinfect it, you have to give it tender, loving care, you have to do it, but then do your thing. Do your thing. I don't regret one single day I have been occupied or I have thought about the pain of someone else. But I will tell you something. I regret every single day in my life I felt broken, because I have let the brokenness of someone else affect me. I let someone break me. I let it happen. I gave them power, and I felt hurt because they were broken. And I regret every single day I couldn't get up from my bed or I was depressed. And this will never ever happen to me again. I don't give this power away anymore. And you should too. You shouldn't. You shouldn't give a random person, and if it's your mom or your dad or your sister or your lover or someone you met in the streets, give them the power to take your life away, and you yourself defining yourself through the prism of your wounds. That is wrong. You give it to them. If you feel there are no solutions, if you feel there are no opportunities, if you feel there are no more options, it's on you. And the moment you start to get your machine running, I mean your whole machine, your head, your brain, your heart, and this starts to move in a forward direction, nobody can take it away from you ever again. No loss, no material loss, no emotional loss, because you have gained something. You have gained yourself. You have gained yourself, and then you're spreading out, and then you can give. So, if you want to help me with this mindset, I would be delighted. So you find a contact form in the description box, or you can contact me via email. I give you a free discovery call and we pick you up where you're at. Otherwise, please like or subscribe to my channel or share my videos if you think someone in your environment needs a little bit of a pep talk. So this was my message for today. Bye bye.